I heard you've been seeing Hinnock the tanner.
So what? Come to preach to me, have you? That I'm a loose woman, a sinner? That I seduce decent men, huh?
God, no, nothing like that. It's just that you're the only one in the village who sees Hinnock, so I came to ask you about him.
I've seen him often enough, but I don't know what I can tell you about him.
Where can I find Hinnock?
I haven't seen him in the village for a few days. He must have run off to the woods again.
Does he do that often?
From time to time.
What the hell does he get up to there?
I don't know.
Look here. I'm a friend of Hinnock's and I really need to know where he is and what he's doing.
But I already told you I don't know where he is.
So I suppose he just goes to the woods to pick mushrooms, does he?
Mushrooms? No. More like hares or other game.
So Hinnock is a poacher. That doesn't surprise me much.
Well, he was never one for an honest trade.
Do you know exactly where he goes? Maybe he has some favorite spot he might have told you about.
He said he has some hideout in the woods, but he didn't tell me exactly where.
When did you see him last?
A few days ago. He came to me late in the evening, drunk.
That was unusual?
I never saw him drink much. He always came here sober.
So he was acting strange that evening?
He was strange. I had the feeling he was afraid of something. He kept on prattling and wasn't interested in, well, you know what. So I threw him out and I haven't seen him since.
When did you see him last?
A few days ago. He came to me late in the evening, drunk.
That was unusual?
I never saw him drink much. He always came here sober.
So he was acting strange that evening?
He was strange. I had the feeling he was afraid of something.
Can you remember anything he said that evening?
Hard to say. He went on about some Jacob who died. Then he was regretting he ever got into it, but he never said what it was. And that it wasn't worth it for the money. Aye, and then he was talking about the money. That was very odd.
What did he say about the money?
Just that he had a pile of money hidden at home behind the house.
Uh-huh. What did you say to that?
What could I say? He was drunk. He kept saying I was a fine girl and other harlots wouldn't go with him even for money. And if I wanted, I could even take half the money and leave. Or he'd go with me and we could get married and such. Just poppycock.
Did you go there for a look?
No, I've no time for such things. Obviously, he made it up. Where would a layabout like that get money?
Sure, I understand. Did he tell you exactly where he hid it?
He said he buried it at his dad's small holding in the western corner.
All right, thanks. Is it true?
What?
Other whores wouldn't go with him even for money?
The other bathhouse girls are honest, so I don't know. The truth is, I felt a bit sorry for him. Folk don't like him, and it's only because his old man is a grouch and a tanner.
I heard they don't like him because he keeps company with villains.
True enough, but they didn't like him before either. Or me. They're close-minded yokels. Both of us are sort of black sheep in the village.
There's nothing more between you?
No, nothing more. Maybe Hinnock thinks differently, but that's how it goes.
All I want is to ask about Hinnock.
What do you want to know?
I need to know more about that hideout.
I really don't know where it is. I only know when he came back, he usually came to see me.
I see. How did you know he'd been to the woods?
He always talked about what he caught. And the truth is, he didn't come to me at other times. I reckon because he didn't have money for it.
Do you know who he sold it to?
He never told me straight up. But who could he sell it to? The innkeeper? It makes sense, doesn't it?
For sure. Do you know what route he took? At least the general direction, anything that could help me find his hideout.
I think he usually went through the lumberjack's camp, because he always brought me freshly chopped firewood, and he had wood chips on his boots.
So at least I know where to start. Where's the lumberjack's camp? Where's the tavern? I'm looking for a fellow they call Reeky. Have you ever heard tell of him?
Why wouldn't I? That's what they call my son, Hinnick.
Uh-huh. You wouldn't happen to know where he is?
I don't know nothing.
Don't you know at least where he usually goes? It's quite important.
Hinnick shows up at home once in a blue moon, so I don't know nothing about where he gets to. Even if I did, why would I tell every Tom, Dick, and Harry?
Your son is about to get into deep shit. I'm trying to find him so I can warn him.
That's nothing new. He's always up to his ears in it.
This time his neck is on the block. He got mixed up with some very unsavory people. I have to find him.
All right. He was here a few days ago, but he left right away. He looked like he was in a hurry.
And you don't know where he went?
I've got an idea, but I don't know where it is exactly.
I don't follow you.
Hinnick makes some money on the side from poaching. He boasted to me a few times about what a great hideout he found in the woods, but he never told me where it is.
All right. It's not much to go on, but it's better than nothing. I'd like to talk to you about your Hinnick.
I'm very busy, so make it quick.
Do you at least know anyone he's friends with, or someone he goes to see?
As far as I know, nobody here in the village talks to him.
I heard he's seeing some bathhouse wench.
Maybe. He can't get it for free, so I suppose he's got to go to the baths.
Don't you have any clue where his hideout might be?
I really don't know nothing about that. I could tell when he'd come from there is all.
How's that?
'Cause every time he brought some hides for tanning and money.
He had money because he sold the stuff right away?
I suppose he never kept any of his loot here.
Do you know who he sold it to?
Well, I don't really know. But the innkeeper came here now and again and gave him money. Of course, it could have been for meat.
All right. I'll ask at the inn, then. What more do you know?
I don't know. I swear to God Almighty, I don't know. Hinnick never told me nothing.
I know he didn't talk to you about it, but you must have noticed something, right? How much time did he spend away? What was he wearing? How did he look when he came back? Anything!
Well, he came and went at various times. I really don't know. Except maybe one thing. He'd come home scratched with brambles and leaves and shit on him.
So he probably went through thick woods to get to that place.
I reckon. What do I know?
Welcome to my shop.
I want to ask about the courier's son, Hinek.
And ask someone else. I have nothing to do with Reeky. He'd only drive my customers away.
I heard a different story, though, that the two of you were doing business together.
Who are you, anyway?
A friend of Hinek's. He's gone missing and I need to find him.
I don't know where he is, but if you find him, tell him he still owes me some goods.
I don't give a damn what deals you've been doing together. I won't tell anyone, but I urgently need to know where Reeky is.
What have our deals got to do with where he disappeared to?
More than you think. It's quite possible Reeky is hiding out at his poaching lab. And believe me, it wasn't hard to find out who was buying game from him. And it's even easier to go to the castle and tell them.
All right. But give me a word of honor you won't tell anyone about our deal.
You have my word.
Fine. So what do you want to know?
I hear Hinek has a hideout in the woods he uses for hunting game. Do you know where it is?
I don't know exactly. That is, I don't know where it is at all.
But?
What I happen to know, it's a dark place, a cave or an old mine shaft.
How do you know?
Whenever Reeky was going poaching, he always came to me first for candles and lamp oil. He brought the game skinned and gutted, so he had to have light for that.
How much game did he bring you?
Not much. A few pieces. There's no great demand here. Sometimes the gentry has something, otherwise it ends up in sausages.
And do you know the whereabouts of some mine shaft in the area?
I don't know. But a few months ago, the quarrymaster, Sir Rupert, was complaining over his ale here that Lord Divish had saddled him with a hell of a job. He had to check out all the old mine shafts in the area to see what state they were in.
I'll try asking him then. Thanks.
You're welcome.